Hey, hi. I hope you gone through the demo video and you have understood the basic project overview and flow. Okay. So in this video, I'll be showing you the code part and algorithm part which we have used for the project. So mainly intrusion detection system, mainly the data set which we have used. First, I'll tell you the data set. Okay. That is if you Google NSL KDD IDS dataset, you will find this a bunch of links. Okay, so we have used this nsl kdt dataset. So this is the basically our original intrusion detection dataset, which basically created through some organization, which way they have captured a different packet networks. Okay, like this. Okay, and it has some number of features, these are some details which you can read it out. Okay, so I'll go through the code project folder structure. So this is our project folder structure. So if you go one by one, so mainly there is a folder, notebook folder is there. Inside the notebook folder, live ideas training file is there. Okay, so this is the file. This is the complete file of our algorithm training. The algorithm or the backbone of the model which we are using now. So all code are written here, which are used for the training. I'll go block wise. So this is the code which we are importing the libraries. We are using sklearn, matplotlib, seaborn, etc. Okay, and then we are applying some label mapping. So in the dataset they have given some mapping, something like this. Okay, 0 is normal, 1 is buffer overflow. So these are the basically type of attack you can consider. Okay, these are the type of attack which available in dataset. Okay, so what we have done, instead of taking these small types of attack or not understanding labels, what we have done, we have categorized all attacks into the 7 categories. Okay, like DOS attack, brute force attack, botnet activity, like that. So we have classified those in 22 category into 7. Okay, and these are the columns which are available in the dataset. Okay, so this way we are loading the dataset with this column. Okay, so what exactly these columns are? This columns is nothing but a packet information. So what is packet? Whenever you do anything on internet, or if you solving anything. Okay, just right now I am recording the video. Okay, so this is my laptop, right, and I am recording from certain website. This is the website, from there I'm recording the video. Okay, so in middle there is some network, right? Some internet network is there. So whatever I'm recording, it is converting it into a packet. Okay, small packets. Okay, if you knew it, you have heard some tcp ip protocols. Inside that packets concept is there. Okay, so in the network, whatever I'm doing suffering, it's go through the packets on the network. Okay, and network send these packets to server, whatever server we I am using. It's sending the packets to there, and server performing the activity network accordingly. Okay, so these packets consist of a small bit of information. Whatever I am doing now, it's consists the information. So this columns is nothing but those information like source ip, destination ip, duration of packet, length of packet, size of packets, like that. Those are the informations are there. Okay, which basically are 41 features. Here we are combining the data set, as we have training and testing both data, so we are just loading the data. Okay, and then we are mapping all the labels, whatever mapper I have explained to you above. So we are just iterating the data set, and one by one we are mapping the data. And after mapping, we have identified this number of this attack, this number of this attack, this number of this attack, like that. Okay, and then what we are doing, we are just plotting the graph of the same, whatever number of records we have found, we have plotted the graph like a bar graph, pie chart, etc. Okay, and same if you go down, these are the some real time features which can be possible to capture in real network. Okay, basically in dataset is consist 41 features, right? But in real network, see, dataset has created some year back, right? But network has updating every day. So right now in real time feature, this number of features are capable to extract from real network, because we are doing it on real time, right? We are performing the network analysis, intrusion detection in real time. So these are the possible features was there in real time. So we have used the real time features only. Okay, and then we are created the x train and y train data. We are divided data into x and y. X is the input, y is the output. Okay, and then converted the applied the encoding. Encoding means we are, see, for algorithm everything should be in numbers format. Okay, so what we have converted, we have assigned or labeled the activities into 0 1 2 3 format. Okay, and then we are using this number of algorithms. So these are the algorithms which we are going to use. Okay, so we are created the map and algorithm is getting trained one by one. So if you go down, so for the random forest we have got 98% accuracy, extra trees 98, and this one is 50, knn is 88. Okay, like that. So these are the accuracy which we have received. So if I, this is the graphical representation of accuracy. So we have trained on dataset, we have trained all this algorithm. Okay, and what we have done after the training, we have identified the top three algorithm which has the highest accuracy, and we have created the ensemble model. Why ensemble model? Ensemble model is basically a combination of combining of multiple algorithms, machine learning algorithm, to get better result, better accuracy and better performance. Okay, so we have created the voting classifier of all top three algorithms and created the main model. Okay, hard voting ensemble we have got 98, and soft voting ensemble is also 98. Okay, you can search this term hard coding voting ensemble model, you will get it ki what is hard coded and what is soft voting. So this is a homework for you. Okay, so the final selection of model is ensemble model soft because it has the highest accuracy and best result. So then we have plotted some confusion matrix. Okay, and here we are saving the models. Okay, whatever models we have generated, and here we are created a some function to predict attack from category. So this is the function which we have created, which will take the some inputs and load the models and create the vectors and make the prediction and show the output. Okay, the same way from dataset we are extracting some random samples. Okay, and taking the algorithms and making the prediction. So these are the prediction results. For the DOS attack, 98% accuracy, brute force attack, 98% accuracy, based on the data set. Okay, in random samples. And then whatever has generated, we are saving into zip file and downloading it. This is the something, if you see the demo video, I am uploading some sample files, right? Sample CSV file for testing purpose. So those sample files has been generated from here. This is the basically a code which will randomly select the rows from data set and create the CSV file and save it. Okay, so these are the random files has been created. Okay, so this was the overall idea and overall algorithms and accuracy which we have received in the data set. Okay, for the intrusion detection system. So this was the notebook part or algorithm part. Okay, but now let's go to the front end one. Okay, so for the front end and back end. Okay, if you see when you run the project, let's suppose I'm running the project, and if I go to the URL, so you will be able to see this is the login page, right? And if you notice there's a login context is there, right? So if I put ID password and if I log in, so you can see it got changed to dashboard. Same if I click to overview, it got changed to info. So this is called root. Okay, so for creating a web application we have used Flask framework. Okay, and for front end we have used HTML CSS, and for the backend we have used Python language. And algorithm I have explained to the algorithm part, right? So for Flask framework we have to create different routes. Okay, routes means this one, we have to define these routes. Dashboard route, see this is the one of the route, this is the upload one of the route. Okay, so in the Flask if you go to project folder structure, so there is a template folder is there. Okay, so inside the template folder all HTML files is there, normal HTML code is there. Okay, and there is the one static folder. In static folder all images, HTML CSS is there. Okay, and in the models all model files are there, whatever algorithm we have trained and whatever file has generated after the trained model, those are stored here. Okay, and if you go to the upload section, whatever file you will be upload in the website, it will come here. And now let's come to the files. Okay, what are the main files? If you go to check, app.py is the one of the file. This is the main controller file where the our complete project is getting monitor. Okay, so let's suppose I'm searching this particular route in the app.py code. Okay, so as you can see what I have done, I have defined one app route. This is the app root. So whenever someone is come to upload page, so what should be happen, it is written here. Okay, so whenever someone come to upload page, see, if first it will check is it post or a normal. Okay, so whenever you come like this way without submitting some data, that is get. Okay, that means we are showing upload.html page. Okay, so whenever you click and upload some file, so it will hit here, that is the post method. Okay, so in the post method, it will take the file, it will save the file, get the database connection for analysis session, and then it will make the prediction from CSV. Okay, and then it will store the result one by one and show the output. Okay, so this file has defined all types of routes. Similarly, if I go to dashboard, okay, and if I search for the dashboard, see, this is the dashboard route. So in the dashboard route, we are showing the dashboard.html, and we are getting some statics from the database. This is statics method. This file is mainly consists all routes, all necessary functions, and database connection code and database queries. Okay, this is the basically app.py file, and this is the blocking service. So blocking service, what is it basically do? It block and unblock the system. Okay, some attack has detected, so it update in the system. So after updating in the system, this service continuously run in background. That means similarly in our mobile phone, if you see, you used to get different type of notification, right? Sometimes Flipkart, Amazon, or some WhatsApp notification, you used to get the notification. Why? Because in background something is getting running in your mobile phone, like a service. Okay, similarly this is the blocking service which is continuously running. In case of any attack has detected, it block the IP. This is the command for the Windows to block the IP. Okay, similarly, if it is not a Windows, then this is the command it will execute to block the IP. Okay, similarly, whenever you do unblock, so it execute this command for unblocking. Okay, and if I go to now live monitor, live prediction, so this is the function, this is the physically a class which is basically used to make the prediction. Okay, this class, if I show you, it load the model, expect the all features, whatever real-time features, and then load the models. Okay, load components, and then it return the pre-process the data, whatever data we are passing, it will do the feature engineering and create the map. Okay, and make the prediction. Okay, so all prediction code are available inside this prediction file, and the monitor class. So this is the one of the important file for performing live monitoring. Okay, I'll show you by code. So this is the main function, start monitoring. It also run in a background as a service, just like mobile. I give you the example, right, for mobile phone, that like that. So this start monitoring file, first it get the information of network and IP, and it will show you the output of for the what command need to execute for what attack. Okay, and then it start the background server. Okay, so what this background server will do, it will continuously monitor your HC. It is written the while true means infinite loop. Okay, so until your project is running, it will run. So it basically save the normal batch, means it continuously capture the data from monitor. So for capturing data we have used, I'll show you. Yeah, so this is the function which we have defined, handle packets. So what this handle packet will do, so we have basically used snipe is a basically Python library which basically help to capture the network, capture the packet from the networks. Okay, and whenever packets will capture, it will pass it to handle packets. In handle packets, packets will be received, and this function will detect the DOS attack, detect the port scanning. It will analyze for different types of attack, and in case any attack will found, it will alert. Okay, same, it will create the features for all as per our training. It will create the NSL KDD feature, and it will make the prediction with machine learning. So whatever packets data will be received, it will get it here and get the machine learning prediction and show the output. Okay, like that this function in this class is working. I can't explain the line by line code as it is almost thousands of lines of code of all files, but I have given you the basic idea. Okay, so this is the overall about the project. In case of any doubt, you can just send me the text. I'll inform you. Okay.